Tonight I'm coming to you from Anchorage, Alaska, and it is 10:15 p.m. and that sun is still way up in the sky. My kids are in bed, John's relaxing, and I'm going to talk to you guys about how to receive mail while you're on the road. Welcome back to No Ordinary Path. I'm Kristen. My husband John is a travel nurse. We have 3 kids and a dog, and we live in a 37-foot travel trailer that we have taken all across the country. That sun will not set until 11:43 tonight. Isn't that crazy? A couple of ways that you can receive your mail while you're on the road. And I'm going to preface this whole thing by saying that this is something that we're going to talk about as a travel nurse family, and it is a little bit different because if you are not tied to a tax home, which I'll get to in a minute, then you can domicile anywhere that you want to set up a domicile. Truly, you could do that for travel nursing too, but we've decided to keep our tax home, our home base, our domicile in Kansas where our family is. And we've chosen to do that just because we're familiar with the homeschool laws. That has been our permanent address for quite some time, and it's just not worth changing at this point. So like I said, as a travel nurse family, we have a tax home, and that is so that we are able to take our stipends that John receives on his paycheck tax-free. That means that we maintain a place of residence, a permanent place of residence, and that does not have to be a house that you own. It can be a place that you rent. So we rent from John's parents, from my in-laws. So we legitimately rent basically a room at my in-laws' house in Kansas, and that is our permanent address. Option number 1 is to enlist a friend or a family member to help you, to collect that mail and then forward it to you on a periodic basis. If you're not a travel nurse, you can establish your domicile anywhere, and there's lots of videos out there on how you can establish a domicile. There's forwarding services, mail forwarding services that you can use, like in South Dakota or in Texas. America's Mailbox, which is a really popular one, St. Brendan Isle, and also Escapees. All 3 of those are great resources for mail forwarding services for you to establish a domicile there. That's just not the route that we took. The second thing that you can do is set up a UPS box. We've mentioned this before in several of our videos, but especially for travel nurses, this is a really great option. They come at a minimum of 3 months. You get a real address instead of a P.O. box address, so you shouldn't have any problems receiving mail there. We do this at every contract we go to, and then we call up my in-laws and we say, okay, here's our address. Could you send us whatever mail you have stocked up? So we use those 1 and 2 kind of in conjunction with each other. I don't recommend setting up a P.O. box because this is a red flag for a lot of people sending you mail, and some places just simply won't send you mail there. A lot of packages cannot be sent to a P.O. box, which is why we choose a UPS box. They run about $70 to $90 for a 3-month contract. Third thing that we have used, and this is more recently, is general delivery. I did not know this, and we got to test it out when we were in Butte, Montana, which is part of the reason why we hung out in Butte for so long. As you saw in this past video, it was a great place to visit, but part of the reason we stayed in that particular area for so long is because we were waiting to receive mail, general delivery, at the post office in Butte. So if you don't have an address anywhere and you're in transit, this is a really great option. What you do is you're going to want to make sure that you find the post office that's like the main branch of the area that you're at, because not all post offices will receive general delivery. I talked to the postmaster, confirm you can in fact receive mail there, and then you just have someone address it, your name, general delivery, and the address of that post office. And then it gets mailed there, and then you just go in with your driver's license and you say, I have general delivery to pick up, and they will get it for you. And I was really nervous. I've heard a few horror stories about stuff being shipped via UPS or via FedEx and then like not communicating well with the US Post Office. Ours did come via UPS to the USPS office, and we did not have any problems at all. So yay, and it was a big item, you guys. It was not like a piece of mail, it was a big package. Moral of the story is it's a great option if you're like on the road and on the go and you don't have an actual address. Since you guys saw in our last video, this has been the longest period of time that we've gone in between contracts, 10 weeks. We've never traveled that long in between contracts, and we didn't have a mailbox that whole time, which was really weird for us. Number 4, Amazon lockers. This is where you get on Amazon and there's options to have things shipped to Amazon lockers. There's a caveat here. Not everything on Amazon can be shipped to a locker, and sometimes that will extend the period of time for receiving mail. So like if you're doing something prime delivery and it's normally like 2-day shipping, it might be longer. We ran into that because we were going to use that feature while we were visiting Great Falls, where we were kind of near Great Falls, and we needed something in 2 or 3 days, and it wasn't going to be available for like 8 days. We did not want to stay in that small town for 8 days, so we opted not to do that. Also with this is having stuff shipped to a store. This might be something obvious, but like we just ordered a outdoor clam canopy thing. I'm so excited to get it. We had an option to have it sent to a Cabela's, so we could have sent it to any Cabela's and picked it up, but since we have an address now, it's coming to us. But that is a great option. Or things like Walmart, you can have stuff shipped to a specific Walmart, even if you're not like living in that area, you know you're gonna pass through a town with a Walmart, you can have something shipped there and then pick it up. I don't know how long they'll hold it for you, but I suspect they'll hold it for a little while. Number 5 is one that we have not personally used, but we've done some research on it and we are going to give it a try. So I'm gonna tell you what it is, and then I'm gonna do an update at the end of this contract and let you know how it went. It is a temporary change of address at the post office. Now, because we have a tax home, we like to have things sent officially to our address in Kansas because it helps prove that we have a tax home there. So we don't really want to set up an address somewhere else and have stuff sent there because we really need things to go to the Kansas address. Something that the post office does is a temporary change of address. Now, this is generally used for people that are going to be away for a temporary period of time, like think like snowbirds, if you're going to be away for a season. So as a travel nurse, that sounds like it might be perfect because we're going to be away for approximately 3 months. So what you can do is you can go in, you can tell it a start date and an end date. It has to be a minimum of 15 days and it's a maximum of 6 months, but you can extend it all the way up to a year. Now, at the end of that time period, everything will return back to your permanent address. We're going to do this and give it a try and see what happens. This is their basic, like, temporary address change feature, not to be confused with the premium forwarding service for residential. That's something different. The premium forwarding service for residential is a little bit more intensive. What they do is they collect your mail and they hold it and they send it once every week by priority mail to whatever your forwarding address is. And this service is kind of pricey. It's $22.75 per week, and you also have a setup fee of $20.90. So just to get started, you're gonna spend like $45 just to get it up and running. And then every week you're gonna be paying $22.75 to have them send you your mail by priority mail. There's nothing going to our permanent address that is of a timely necessity. So we're gonna give this a shot and then let you guys know how it worked out for us, because it might be a great option if you know you're gonna be returning back to your home base address. Regarding holding your mail, the United States Post Office will hold it for 30 days at a maximum. They cannot hold it longer than that. Well, that is it for today. I hope that's helped. We've had a lot of people ask us how we handle mail, and I think how we handle mail is a little bit different than a normal RVer because of our tax home circumstance. So I hope this has clarified some things. Please drop some questions in the comments if you have any more questions or something that I didn't quite clarify. I would love to help you out. Send us an email or message us and we would love to chat with you. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you stay tuned for this weekend because we are crossing the Canadian border, which is still currently closed, and it was quite an adventure. So we'll see you out there. Don't you love it when you just give a whole speech and realize that you never hit record? There are kids playing in the playground behind me at 10:30 p.m. Alaska's wild, you guys. Man, that sun is bright. I can't get over how bright it is. I'm literally getting eaten alive by all the mosquitoes. They're gonna carry me away.